Hello, hello, welcome back, my fellow uplifters. Um, Feels good to record another video on our channel, The Inner Uplift. I just wanted to come over here today and I had a particular topic that I was listening to from the Pegu podcast from Dr. Thomas Ora from Metapsychiatry, and he was speaking on solitariness. Solitariness, a little different from just solitude, which solitude can be a good thing on its own. Um, but I guess it's the state that we find ourselves when we are in solitude. It's not a bad thing to be in solitude, but what mode of being, what state are you in while in solitude? Um, I couldn't figure out, what that contrast was with solitude and solitariness until I gave a good listen to what he shared in regards to that. But first off, I just want to say thank you all for um, checking out these videos on here. They are without order, they are without any kind of construct, because everything we speak on here is based on truth. And as we know, truth cannot be organized. And that's how we proceed on here. That's how we move forward on here at the Inner Uplift. Pardon my voice. Last few days, I've been sort of just drinking a lot of tea, shaking something off. It's been really cold out here. Uh, but, we're just starting a new month today, and winter time is upon us. So, to everyone out there, just uh, stay safe, stay well, stay healthy through solitariness, and yeah, let's bring in this new month in good health and good spirit. Uh, Again, thank you for coming by to the Inner Uplift. Like I've done in the past videos, I think this would be our fifth recording. Really new channel, but I'm really happy about it. I'm really excited. A place where we could just come together, speak on truth, talk about different things that are true, that are aligned with truth. Not here to agree or disagree. Nothing based on opinion. Just all here to observe together, observe truth together, and comment on truth, speak on it, have conversations that are just based on truth. We give ourselves space in between to allow truth to be our guide towards what we observe together. Um, it's a good thing. It feels good to be able to do this here with you guys. So I just want to keep showing gratitude and I thank you. Um, as we proceed along with this video, with these videos, um, uh, comment, subscribe. Let's subscribe to the channel. Let's get this out there. Whatever we could do to boost the algorithm, get it out there. It's not, just anything based on what the world wants us to relay or put out there. What the world wants to force us to be influenced by. We're not here to influence anybody. Um, we're just here to do this together to be influential. So let's subscribe, let's comment, like if you do like or not. Uh, the like one is something I usually don't mention because we're not here to influence anyone to like the videos. The main thing is for us to just keep truth in our conversations. Let's just come together and do this together. Um, but yeah, so today let's speak on solitariness. I just wanted to share what I gained listening to that particular topic on the Pagel podcast, Metapsychiatry Pagel podcast from Dr. Thomas Ora. Uh, so, solitariness. Metapsychiatry tells us there are four ways that people can participate in society. The first one is you can be involved positively, whereby you relate in a loving way to people. You're a very loving person to everyone around you, to all the people around you. You relate that way, um, involved positively. The second one is you can be involved negatively, whereby you're entangled in a hostile way with people. Okay. So, first one, you're very positive, relatable, loving person. Second one is negative. Your energy, usually very negative around people. You're entangled in a hostile way around people. The third is you can be an isolated individual and isolate yourself and become a loner because you cannot cope with the world, neither positively or negatively. Very interesting. First one is very positive person. You just you know have so much positivity to give to people, and that's how you always relate to people. Every circumstance, every day, you get up and you're outgoing, very very relatable. I don't want to say relatable, but just very outgoing, very positive. That's the first one. The second one is um, mm, not quite not quite loving. Um, very involved negatively, whereby you're entangled in a hostile way with people. You get up, you're not feeling the day at all. You're not feeling anything positive at all. You're just, man, I don't like this. I don't like that. Why is this person looking at me like this? Man, I don't want to talk to you. Man, can you not even walk? I mean, I hear you walking up. I don't. You better not even stop by to say anything to me. Oh, you just waved. Okay, sure, I'll wave back, but I don't really care to say hi. Um, or even or when you do have that interaction or have any interaction with a person, it's just negative. It's just, man, everything just is blah. Uh, you know, I better not even get involved with that because I already know how that's gonna go. It's gonna be bad. You know what I mean? Just negative, negative. We've all come across those circumstances. We've all been entangled with that form of energy. Um, so yeah, that's the second one. The third one, uh, interesting. It says you can be an isolated individual and isolate yourself and become a loner. So the third one is just, man, I'm out of here. I'm by myself. I'm in the corner. I'm sitting down. I have my hoodie. I have my hood up. I'm wearing my hoodie. I have my hood up. My head is down. I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking in this book. Definitely making sure that everyone that sees me, I have this, my mannerisms are just, man, don't even come by. Don't say hi. Leave me alone. Um, yeah, that's what you're giving off right there. That's the your vibrations are just very leave me alone esque. It says you isolate yourself uh, and become a loner because you cannot cope with the world, neither positively or negatively. So you cannot cope with the world neither positively or negatively. You're just like, hey man, I'm not gonna, I'm not saying I care for this or I'm not gonna be negative about this, but I'm not gonna be positive about this. I just can't cope with the world. I just want to deal with anything. So I just sit in the corner. I just go my way. As soon as whatever is going on around me is done, I get up from my chair. I walk out real fast. I run to the car. I put my hood up. I run to the car, straight to the car. Just bolt to the car. I hop in, um, and I'm gone. No words with anybody, nothing. I can't cope with the world. I can't. So again, we may have experienced certain individuals that fall in that category, that fall in that third one right there. Um, but here's the fourth one that metapsychiatry recognizes. It's a mode of being that metapsychiatry calls solitariness. Solitariness. Fourth one. A solitary individual is a beneficial presence in the world, and he is neither involved nor uninvolved. He is neither moving towards people or against people or away from people. He is standing as an individual manifestation of God's presence in the world. Solitariness. Solitariness is neither involved nor uninvolved, is neither moving forward towards people trying to be like get in their faces like, hey, hey friend, hey guy, hey girl, hey, hey. Neither doing any of that. Or against people. He is not shunning people away. He is not saying, that person get away from me, man. Or man, I don't want to be around does, and he is not doing. He's doing neither. Neither. He's not doing either one. He's not doing either one. He is standing as an individual manifestation of God's presence in the world. And what really stuck with me with this, and Dr. Thomas Hora mentioned that the perfect example from his studying of the Bible and the Word, the perfect example in the Bible that came to him as the best representation of solitariness was Daniel. Daniel from the Bible. And when he mentioned this, when Dr. Thomas Hora mentioned this, I had to go back to the book of Daniel because, like I know for myself, maybe many of you guys out there, um, when I think of Daniel, of course, I think of just the famous story of him getting thrown into the lion's den, him being protected by God, the angel coming in, shutting the mouths of the lions, and him being safe. He was not touched. The lions were calm. The lions were around him. He was not touched at all. He was not harmed. That's the popular thing we know Daniel for. Daniel and the lion's den. I sat with that for a little bit. I was like, let me think back. What about Daniel? Okay, now I started to think. Okay, King Nebuchadnezzar. I know Daniel Nebuchadnezzar was the king that ordered Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. So I said, you know what? Let me go back. Let's look at the book of Daniel. Let's look at the book of Daniel. Um, said to myself, I want to gain a little bit I want to gain a little bit of an understanding of solitariness from Daniel's perspective. From since me studying metapsychiatry, Dr. Thomas Hoare has actually mentioned that is his favorite book in the Bible, is the book of Daniel, um, because it just teaches, according to him, it just teaches a very, very healthy way of being a beneficial presence in the world. He says Daniel showed that a lot and he expressed that a lot. And he did that in healthy spiritual solitariness. He did that in a way where he just did nothing but live for God, prayed a lot in solitariness. There's a part in the book of Daniel. I think that was right after. We could read this together. Actually, give me one second. Let me find it. Uh, I think Daniel chapter 6 is the Daniel and the lion's den story. That's where that picks up. Um, Here, so I'll share my screen with this here. There we go. So if we look from here, chapter 6, verse 6, from like right here. Oops, get that out. So the king Nebuchadnezzar had sent a decree out that everyone, I guess this was in Babylon, everyone should only pray to and pray and worship no other god except his gods and the false idols, and it only had to do with him. Everyone should only bow down to him. So his Nebuchadnezzar's administrators had helped him get this decree out, and anyone who prays to any god or human being during the next 30 days. There was a time frame, except to you, your majesty. So these are Nebuchadnezzar's administrators telling him that they shall be thrown into the lion's den. And this decree was issued out. Now, your majesty, issue the decree and put it in writing so that it cannot be altered in accordance with the law of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repealed. So King Darius put the decree in writing. So I apologize. I thought this was Nebuchadnezzar, but the Bible says King Darius. For some reason, I thought Daniel. Okay. All right. So King Darius was the one that had to do with this decree. So give me one second here. So it says, verse 10, chapter 6, verse 10. Now, when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. So that's all he did. He learned, oh, okay, well, they're putting out a decree that says I'm supposed to pray and only pray to a king, a human being, um, or a false god. Nope, nope. I'm gonna go do what I always do in solitariness. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pray to God, to my God, the true and living God, the Almighty God in heaven. I'm praying to that God, and he prayed 3 times a day. Um, Long story short, they found this. They found out that Daniel was only doing this. He would not, do what that decree said. He went against that decree because we shall only abide to the decree of the true and living God. And Daniel did this, and yeah, they heard that. They reported it to the king, and they also reminded the king that anyone who was to go against this decree was to be put in the den of lions. So that's sort of, I just wanted to sort of remind us that's what led up to that famous situation that we all know of as to Daniel ending up in the lion's den. But I tell you what, um, when he was put in that den, because the king really loved Daniel. It was just those administrators, those people that put that word in the king's ear to do this to Daniel. And Daniel prayed. Then the God was in Daniel's side this whole time. Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. The king was really upset that he shut the den with a huge stone, put a seal on it so no one could open it, and all of those things. And the king could not sleep. He could not sleep that night. He could not eat. He could not be entertained. The Bible says, at the first light of dawn, verse 19, right here. At the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came near the den, he called to Daniel in an anguished voice. He was sad about this. He says, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions? And Daniel answered, may the king live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions, plural. They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight. Nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty. So there, there you have it. And then when I read that particular part right there, verse 21 says towards the end of it, where it says, "They have not hurt me, because I was found innocent in his sight. Nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty." Solitariness. It took me back to that that option, the option of solitariness as one of the ways to participate in society. Let me read that particular solitary one again. It says, solitary individual is a beneficial presence in the world, and he is neither involved nor uninvolved. He is neither moving towards people or against people or away from people. He is standing as an individual manifestation of God's presence in the world. Daniel told the king, he says, I was found innocent in his sight. The lions didn't hurt me. They have not hurt me because God protected me. I was found innocent in his sight. Doesn't matter the administrators, doesn't matter what they think of me, doesn't matter what people think of me. In Daniel moving in solitariness under God's eyes from moment to moment as a manifestation of God, he didn't, say, "Oh my gosh, let me suck up to these administrators and see if that might change their minds." Or let me just bash them, badmouth them and just say, "Get away from me," and do what you will, whatever. He didn't express himself like that. He just stayed. He was standing in he was standing as an individual manifestation of God, even all the way till they put him in the den. And he said he was found innocent in the sight of God. That was the only form of innocence that mattered. That was the only thing that mattered. Innocence from God. It's all that matters. God sees you as innocent because he knows straight to our hearts. We're not doing it for anybody. We're not here to live for man. We're not here to live for ourselves. We're here to live for God. And once we live for God, then we live for all of those things. That's it. He says, nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty. He knew in his heart he had not done any wrong. He stayed true to the true living God. Daniel stayed true to that. So I just wanted to share that and touch on that because that was the example of the character that represented this form of participating in society, which is solitariness. Not, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with positive Because the first one that says you can be involved positively, whereby you relate in a loving way to people. Good. People should be positive. People should remain positive. But then it's not, what we don't want is for it to be operational, where it's like we're only doing it just so that people can accept us for who we are. We're doing it so people can invite us into their space. We're doing it so people can look at us and say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I like his energy. I like the way he's being positive about it, about everything. Just come over, because that what that sounds to me is that type of person, that type of mode of being would require constant positive thinking. And let's remind ourselves, um, positive thinking isn't always right. Right thinking, the right way of thinking, is usually always positive. So it's one of those things where, being involved in society in a positive way, it's a good thing, but you don't want it to be just based for this operational standard of trying to force yourself into acceptance of society. And of course, the second one, you can be involved negatively, whereby you are entangled in a hostile way with people. Of course, there are a lot of people that are. There are a lot of people that are involved negatively and entangled in a hostile way, but we don't blame them. Here at the Inner Uplift, we look at, not people as you're a bad person, bad behavior, you're just a mean person, you're because of your mean behavior. No, we look at it as we're victims of ignorance. A person that is behaving in that negative way is just and expressing ignorance. They're a victim of ignorance. We don't blame the person, we blame ignorance because we know that that's how we're able to see that this person is just expressing the suffering, expressing something that they have to deal with. Um, so unfortunately, there are people that just have a whole lot of that going on, that they just every moment it seems that that's the way that they're expressing themselves in every circumstance. So they will fall in that second category. The first one is the person that's just constantly expressing themselves in a positive way. The second one will be the constantly expressing themselves in a negative way. The third one will be the person that isolates themselves, just takes themselves away from all of it, negative, positive. They they can't cope with neither. They can cope with neither, and they can't cope with the world in a positive or negative way. They just fully isolate themselves, and that person becomes very vulnerable. Such an individual becomes very vulnerable to be very, excuse me, very vulnerable to be influenced by someone who is um, positive in an operational way or very negative in an operational way as well. And that loner can then be victimized by one of these things. Um, but someone uh, who has come to understand who they are in Christ, someone that has come to understand um, who he or she is as an individual manifestation of God, cannot be influenced by the world. Um, they can they can, you know, and of course they're not perfect. I'm not trying to describe a perfect human being. I'm just saying that your cloth of righteousness shows as you involve yourself in society. Um, your banner is worn around that cloth, and it just reflects itself as a beneficial presence. You reflect yourself as a beneficial presence all the time, because you're not, you know, trying to influence people by using these positive footnotes or positive points or um, false sense of responsibility in this positive way. And then next thing you know, you're spiraling in emotionalism, and you're not doing any of those things to try to influence somebody to accept you, to like you. You're not doing that. You're also not being negative. You have no reason to be negative to anyone. Um, you have no reason to hold any grudge. You have no reason to be spiteful, be malicious. Um, you know, his banner is over you. And thirdly, you know you don't need to be a loner. I mean, you gain a better understanding of the difference between solitariness and being this separated, disconnecting loner. There's a difference. Um, but once you find yourself in solitariness, spiritual solitariness, under that banner of God, You're neither driving people away. You're not shunning anyone. You're not chasing anyone. You're not running after anyone for acceptance. You're not chasing anyone. You're not shunning anyone. You're doing neither one. Um, you're you're just a beneficial presence. You're just living for God. You're here for God, and He just uses you constantly, moment to moment. So that's I think that's what Daniel. We're if we could find the time to just read the book of Daniel and see if if this is something that Dr. Thomas Ora was on was he was onto something where he was saying how Daniel represents this example of solitariness as the perfect example for it. As the individual in the Bible that could help us learn what that means even better. Yeah, that would be great. But based off of what I've read, just kind of like read through here and there in different chapters in that book of Daniel, I get it. I see it. Um, Nebuchadnezzar, he would interpret dreams for him, and he would send people to talk to him. But he was just always he would go up to that room. He would pray. He would just pray to God in his room. It never really showed anything as far as him being in a crowd or the Bible never really says anything about that about Daniel. When we look at Daniel's life, we just sort of see specifics. He had three friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they had their stories in the Bible we could learn from when it comes to them not bowing down to the false idol, to the false god, to the and then the king. I think that was definitely Nebuchadnezzar that ordered them to be thrown in the burning furnace. Um, but yeah, so this book of Daniel is really vivid with just um, you know showing the will of showing your will to stand by, stick to your Christ consciousness, to do what you know is right. We learn a lot of that from this book of Daniel, and I hope that's something we could all learn from. Um, yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about those four different ways of being in society? Those four different ways of participating in society. But yeah, I wanted to highlight all four of them specifically to get to the point of solitariness. I really, I truly think that is the mode of being that keeps us spiritually involved. That keeps us, that increases our inner uplift. You know, a solitary, I was reading one more time. A solitary individual is a beneficial presence in the world, and he is neither involved nor uninvolved. He is neither moving towards people or against people or away from people. He is standing as an individual manifestation of God's presence in the world. Yeah, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for this little while. Tell me what you guys think. Let's leave comments on here. If you guys could think of any other characters in the Bible that had this quality of solitariness aside from Daniel. Let's bring them up. Please leave them in the comments. I want to read different parts of the Bible where we're able to draw a connection to solitariness, the solitary individual. How many different solitary individuals, based on this, can we point out in the Bible that live that way? Um, I, now that I'm asking that question out loud, I'm coming up with an answer in my own head with John, even John the Baptist. Even though he had his purpose, what God had instructed him to do was to baptize people, John the Baptist. But I remember a part of the Bible, of his story in the Bible, where it talked about him being in the wilderness, him having to eat wild honey and locusts and um, yeah, things like that. So I think that's definitely solitariness because he could do both. He could be in solitude like that, probably getting a whole lot more spiritual insight as he was being in solitude, but he could still be that same person that will be amongst a crowd of people, helping them through that process of baptism. So I John the Baptist is one individual that comes to mind too. But yeah, can you guys just share something in the comment section, if you guys can think of anything that any character in the Bible, any um, any character in the Bible that showcases solitariness, or just let's just talk about what solitariness means to us, and I hope this was influential for us to sort of just learn more and more about what that means and how we could just be in society, be beneficial presences in society. All right, everyone. Thank you again. We made another video. Um, the channel is going to keep growing and growing. This is something that I know, I feel good about it. Not just for my own personal, feelings or my own personal feel good moments, but I feel good about it because not only is this does it feel beneficial to me spiritually. Why I know that as long as we're doing this together, we're observing everything that we come up with together. Um, it could only have a good feeling for each and every one of us. We're not here to agree or disagree, and I think because we're not doing that, we're not here to debate on anything religious, to debate on what society thinks we should just accept as you know truth. No, we're here to let truth give us the understanding. We're not here to make truth malleable for what we want to accept. Um, it could only lead to just that, you know, liberating feeling. What Christ always just came to do, to liberate us. And yeah, that's what my hope for this channel would do for each and every one of us. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Again, um, keep uplifting, and we will see each other soon. Have a good rest of the day.